I guess I better do this before I run out of daylight because I don't have no box lights or whatever them damn lights is. Anyway, I'm the Book Whisperer. I don't know why I just did that. Okay, so thanks for clicking on my video. I appreciate it. As usual, I still don't know what I'm doing, nor do I too much care to try to know what I'm doing. This video is gonna be a April housekeeping video. Housekeeping is my own terminology for haul, I guess you can say. I don't know why I wanted to call it housekeeping. I guess it's because it's like you're reading and you're sweeping your books away at the same time. Not away in a bad way. But as you may know or may not know, the month of March I dedicated to reading mystery series that I was catching up on. And out of the 7 mystery series that I read or caught up on, 2 of those books had to go. Like, y'all just had to go. Look, that's the window that way. Y'all just had to go. One of the books right now, as we speak, is probably, well, I won't say probably, she is sitting in a used bookstore crying her eyes out. Poor baby. You know, I got 30 pages in and I was like, no, this is not gonna work. Me and you, we're not buddies at all. But what I did when I replaced those books is I got, well, when I replaced those books, when I went out and replaced those books and got 2 new mystery series books. And these are authors that I'm familiar with but never actually really read into. And the first book is the Amelia Peabody, sorry if I'm getting it all wrong, Amelia Peabody series by Elizabeth Peters. I think Elizabeth Peters recently died. It seemed like she was a sweet lady. I was going to say, oh, sweet lady. But anyway, the first book in that series is The Crocodile and the Sandbank. As you can see, I hope my lighting is pretty good. Elizabeth Peters, no. Amelia Peabody is the amateur sleuth of this particular series. It's a regional mystery, meaning that it takes place the majority of the time, actually pretty much the whole book series, because that's what's caught my attention back when I used to work at Books A Million, is that it takes place in Egypt. And Amelia Peabody, she's sort of an heiress, I want to say. She's coming to a large sum of money after the passing of her father. Is it father or her grandfather? And she uses that money to travel around the world, particularly in Egypt. And along the way, she runs across murder mysteries. So I thought that was a cool series to start reading into. I'm familiar with her, but like I said, I've never actually read her. And then the next book is Raymond Chandler's The Big Sleep. If you know what The Big Sleep is, that means you're dead. The Big Sleep is dead. Raymond Chandler is probably the #1 super classic American writer on hard-boiled PI detective fiction. And I was thinking, you know, I'm a little iffy when it comes to male protagonists. And it's even more of a hesitation considering he's pretty much originated that whole dark black noir PI novel. So it's like this guy in this book, I didn't tell his name, of the series, Phillips Marlowe, is gonna be smoking cigarettes and probably sleeping with women along the way. And I just thought I would open myself up a little bit to that, and we'll see if I actually can deal with reading a mystery series revolving around a male PI. And quick note, Janie, I was looking for that Karin Slaughter book and I could not find it. I went to 2 used bookstores, I went to Barnes & Nobles, and I still did not find it. So I'm either going to get it from the library or I'm going to go ahead and order it online. So what was the name of it? I'm scared to say it. Triptych, Triptych. Whatever it is, I'm still interested in reading it. So once I got those mysteries out of the way, I picked up Julie Otsuka's When the Emperor Was Divine. I can't read today, but I just happened to run across these books looking for something else by Ruth Ozeki, and wow, I was just like, wow, I just have to read this book. The theme of this book is, if you are familiar with the Japanese internment camps that went on back in the 1940s in Utah, I think what she's going to be doing here is that she's going to be telling the story of a particular family or a group of switching narratives that tells of different families, their experience being inside, or starting from being relegated as non-Americans and then getting into being in the internment camps, and perhaps maybe how they succeeded in getting out of that. But yeah, I'm really interested in reading this. The last book that I read on Japanese internment camps was The Invisible Thread by Yoshiko something, I can't think of her last name, but anyway, that was a really good book. And if you ever come across that book, you should read it, because it's so interesting to know that during the war, Americans set up here and took Japanese citizens and put them in internment camps, and then tried to lie and say it didn't happen. I'm getting all political, but I'm gonna stop right there. So the next book is another Julie Otsuka's book. I hope I get my lighting right. Here it is. It's The Buddha in the Attic. So I picked up that book, the first book, and then I had to pick up this one because they're so thin, but it's just like, you know, hey, she wrote 2 books. I have to read these books now. This is a little different from the other one. It takes place in a period before the 1940s and the Japanese internment camps, and this is basically a book that's narrating through maybe about 4 or 3 different women in their experiences moving from Japan to America, San Francisco, and becoming wise picture brides to American people. So I think some of them are going to be on the farm, some of them are going to be in the city. It's just going to be all over the place, but I cannot wait to read that book, like, for real. I want to see these women cuss these men out, but I know they're not going to do that. So the next book, keeping up with the Japanese theme, is Kobo Abi's The Woman in the Dunes. I've been wanting to read this book for quite some time, but I was always scared of the original cover. The original cover was like this golden, dark, weird looking cover with this lady laying in the dunes looking like a damn cat, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But anyway, they reissued the book, and I like this new cover, so when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what's up then. You got a new cover, and she's beautiful, and it looks great. This is about an entomologist. He is pretty much, I hate when I say the pretty much, but he's on a excursion of some sort, and he comes across this town, and the town is located around, well, not around, but dunes are located around the town. In the center, the town is in the center. I can't explain shit. I can't even give directions to McDonald's up the street. And what it is that when he tries to leave this town, the villagers will not let him leave. They capture him, and his job that they give him is to go onto the outskirts of the village and shovel the sand back, because it's, you know, in a valley and the sand is coming down, and what's assisting, or who is assisting him with that shoveling, is a woman, the woman in the dunes. And that's where I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking that some kind of paranormal element is involved with that, and I just cannot wait to read that book. Listen, that book, the last 3 books that I showed, I pretty much want to slap somebody to read them. Like, I'm just that excited. You can't tell right now, but I am. So I'm gonna move on from that. And then the next book is another book that I'm excited about, The Warmth of Other Suns. This is a nonfiction book. I've been wanting to read this book for quite some time, and I finally found it. And it's by Isabel Wilkerson. She's gorgeous too. Can you see her? But this book is big too, and you know I love me some big ass non-fiction books. Like, if you're gonna give me a non-fiction book, it just needs to be fat. I just want it just fat, just straight up large, just fat. Not the material, but the size of the book. This book, also it's crazy, but this book is basically telling, I think it's about 4 or 5 stories, and they're not really stories because it's nonfiction, but they are stories, I guess you could say, about 4 or 5 black Americans who migrated from the South during, you know, certain civil discords, and they move either north or west, and how their transition, you know, it goes about in affecting their families and the generations before them. So this is great. You know, The Warmth of Other Suns, the epic story of America's Great Migration. I cannot wait to read this badass book. Oh, I can't wait. Go get this book. I know this book is gonna be so freaking good. But yeah. And so, in closing, but not actually closing, there is another book that's on my order that I hadn't got yet because I ordered it too late, although I put it in my cart, and that is The Ghost Children. I can't think of her name, but I saw it on Kristinathebookworm's channel, and I wanted to read that book so bad because I saw it, and I don't have it in my physical hands right now. So The Ghost Children is another one. And then I'm doing a read-along with TheFictionFairy, Amanda. And that is, I was gonna say Christopher Pike. And that is R.L. Stine's Bad Dreams. And I can't wait to read this. This cover is off the freaking chain. It's so pretty. It's all pink. And they looking like they are gonna get their asses killed up in the bedroom by a ghost. And I cannot wait. But yes, that's all I have for today. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. I think my lighting is leaving. I really don't know, but it's all good. What are you gonna be reading? What do people ask at the end of the videos? They ask, what are you gonna be reading? Post it in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share, all of that cool stuff. I cannot wait to read these books and write about them. And I think I'm going to get off of this camera now because I really want to start back reading. So I appreciate you guys for stopping by. That is the end of my April housekeeping video. Those are the books I'll be reading this month. And I cannot wait to talk to you guys about it. So bye.